Today, we're focusing on how the LGBT agenda has permeated our culture. One place it's hard to miss is in big business. For example, Kellogg's cereal just released a create your own pronoun cereal. That's not a joke. It's Together with Pride Rainbow Edition donates $3 from the sale of every box to the LGBT group GLAAD. Here to discuss this is Justin Danhof, General Counsel and Director of the Free Enterprise Project for the National Center for Public Policy Research. Justin, welcome back to the program.
It's nice to talk with you, Joseph.
Well, corporations used to observe Pride Month with a rainbow logo, or maybe just a tweet, but now they are all in releasing their own products. Have we turned some kind of corner in all of this?
Well, I mean, it smacks you in the face everywhere you look, right? And it's really beyond just Pride Month. And there's a simple reason for it. It's because the left demands it, right? So they demand corporate action and they ratchet up the pressure. And we can name names here. The Human Rights Campaign is responsible for a lot of what you see when it comes to LGBTQ plus promotion. And that's because they've been rating companies for years on LGBTQ plus issues. And they changed the ratings, right? They use their ratings as a carrot and a stick. It used to be about, do you treat your, gay employees the same as your straight when it comes to things like healthcare? That was what they started as. But then they realized once they got the companies on board with pushing their message, they wanted them to push that message out into the public. And so nowadays, the Human Rights Campaign in their rating systems demands that companies have 3 outward-facing events every single year that promote LGBTQ plus causes. And advertising is listed as the #1 way in which they can do that. And so through promotion of products, advertising, and most prevalent, obviously, during Pride Month, we see a lot of action being taken by companies so that they can check off those boxes on the Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equality Index to maintain their perfect score. And it's taken a step further, as you note, with Kellogg's now sending a piece of the profits from those boxes of cereals to LGBTQ plus groups. And it's just comical because if you look up the 990s of some of these organizations, they are flush with cash. Why? Because the business community already funds them to start with.
Do you think it will soon be required by the Human Rights Campaign that every company give them money out of their profits in order to maintain a good score?
In probably more subtle ways than that, sure. But yeah, the kickback scheme's obviously there, right? And it's really comical because, again, these companies pay HRC to then tell them how to act. So it's kind of like the tail that wags the dog that wags the tail. And I would say at the local level, engage with the grocer that you go to, right? You're not going to change Kellogg's opinion overnight. But if you engage with the local grocer, let them know, like, hey, I'm going to buy your store brand product today because it's not woke and, promoting crazy causes, because the grocers and the supply chains are really powerful. And same with retail, right? If you're talking about a major retailer like a Target, like a Walmart, or a major carrier like a United Airlines or Delta, the employees of those companies need to hear from everyday Americans that don't want this in your face constantly all the time. You just want to use products and services that help you facilitate, commerce, retail, travel, whatever you need to accomplish without having the politics of a policy group pushed into your face. And a lot of the employees feel that same way. They just don't feel emboldened to speak up to management. Yeah. And so the conversations you have every day, again, with, the guy who runs your local Starbucks in the middle of Iowa, the guy who, the manager of your Target in Austin, Texas, like they're not on board with what the C-suite is forcing them to do at their local level. And these are the folks that operate in your communities. So I encourage, Christians to go into these stores, don't abandon them. Go in and talk to the managers because they need space. They need cover to then the next time somebody from the C-suite calls, they can say, hey, I just had all of these conversations because of the policies you're forcing us at the local level to do that our local constituents, our local customers don't want us engaging in. These are very important conversations to have.
After the backlash in Georgia over their election law, a survey was done that said by a 3-to-1 margin, Americans don't want corporations getting political. Do these decisions during Pride Month, is it profitable for them financially, or is this just a way to avoid being harassed?
It's both. It depends on the company. For some companies, this is a target market of theirs that they can, grow and expand upon it. You think about Nike, their target audience is super woke. Okay, right. That is who they're going after. But for common carriers like airlines, like food and beverage, like large retail, this isn't a winner for them. And you're right. A plurality of individuals don't want companies getting involved in politics. And there's also a good percentage in those polls that don't know yet, right? That they don't have an answer. They didn't say yes or no. So those are important conversations to reach those folks as well.
Very quickly, in a few seconds, is there going to be a backlash? Is there a point at which this is too much and middle America just says enough already?
We're getting there. And it's happening pretty quickly. Everyone's awake for the woke now.
Justin Danhof, thank you so much for your time, for being with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.